build off its series victory against Holy Cross in the opening weekend of the baseball season as it heads down to North Carolina for a 4-game set against NJIT this weekend. Hi, I'm Kyle Charters here for This Week in Purdue Baseball, along with the Boilermakers baseball coach Greg Goff and Purdue SID Ben Turner. Coach, a big weekend. You take 3 of 4 against the Crusaders, hit the ball really well, run ruled them twice down there in Sugar Land, Texas. It just was an outstanding opening weekend.
It really was, Kyle. It was so good to put some uniforms on and go out and play somebody differently. And I thought the guys showed up and just really had a really good weekend overall for the 4 games.
Ben and I were trying to look it up, and we don't know that you guys have ever hit, Purdue program has ever hit 11 home runs in a weekend. If it has, it's been a long time ago, but certainly you guys showed a lot of power, and it was fun to watch.
You know, it really was, and those are things that you never know when you go into a season and how you start. You know, our guys have made a tremendous gain in the weight room. Ty Webb has been tremendous in the weight room. I think you've seen that. You saw that Thursday when we went over and lifted. I think our guys can see a huge difference in that, and very grateful for the opportunity. And our guys did a great job. They were aggressive. The barrels were out front. And I know in my career, 30 years of coaching, I've never hit 11 home runs in one weekend series.
The home runs make headlines. The slugging is great, and that's what the fans love to see. But beneath the radar a little bit, the 2-out production is what you love as the coach. 21 2-out RBIs. You had 3 guys with 5 each, Kornblum, Jarvis, and Tates, and you hit nearly 400, 396 with 2 outs. So a lot of the home runs were solo, which is fine when you supplement it with that kind of production.
No doubt, Ben. I mean, I tell you, we talk about it all the time. 2-out hits wins games. 2-out hits, 2-out RBIs, those are the things that really kill you as a pitching coach and a defense, giving that hit up when you got 2 outs and trying to keep the team. And to be able to do that 21 times this weekend was outstanding. Coach Marks has did a great job with our hitters and really had got those guys prepared to be able to take what the pitcher gives us, and some of those were opposite field home runs. There were some things in there I thought our guys did a really good job with.
Those 2-out hits extend innings, and they create big innings. You scored 4 times in an inning, 3 times over the course of the weekend, so great to see that. And it also makes up for the one area where you could probably improve a little bit. Run around third, less than 2 outs. You were 8 of 14 in getting that runner home. That's 57%. That needs to be a little bit better, and it would be over the course of the season, and it gets masked a little bit when you have that 2-out production.
There's no doubt. But, as we continue this journey, each week, that's one of our major emphasis is situational hitting. We had a couple guys at second base, no outs, that we didn't move them. We had guys at third base, and we didn't score them. And those are the things as we get through this and we start facing, people in our league, really good arms that are really tough to score on. When you have opportunities, you've got to score. At least put the ball in play. And that's what we'll be focusing on this week for sure.
Seems like you have an opportunity to have a really dynamic 3, 4, 5 combination in your lineup, and that was even without being able to see C.J. Valdez, who was out this weekend with an injury. But Paul Tates, Cam Thompson, and Jake Jarvis were just outstanding as run producers in the middle of that lineup this weekend.
They were, and you can add one more in there, Jake Parr,
to
be honest with you, Kyle. Those guys did a tremendous job. And, we take away our all-conference DH and C.J. Valdez, and so that's a good thing. It's good problem to have as a coach to have some guys and have some depth. But really, really pleased. I mean, you know what you're going to get with Paul. He's been a consistent, guy in our lineup for last year and played every day. But to see Jake Jarvis and Jake Parr kind of do some things that we didn't really know what they were going to do this year was outstanding. Just so happy for those guys.
And we'll talk to Jake Parr coming up here a little bit later in the program. Jake Jarvis was great. I mean, you look at a guy, I think, that makes a big jump from the first year in the program to the second year in the program. Yeah. It really seems like he fits that category. Reached safely in 11 of his 16 plate appearances, hit the ball with power, drove in runs, smart on the bases. I mean, he really did a little bit of everything for you out there. And he has made a good leap from year 1 to year 2.
He has, and I think a lot of times you see that transition, especially from guys that come from the junior college ranks. It usually takes a year to really get acclimated to what we're doing, the league, and what's going on. But Jake's worked really hard. He's worked really hard, and he's one of our guys that lead us. And, again, I was more happy with some of the walks that he took. Some change-ups down that he didn't chase. And, he was really a tough out all weekend.
Yeah, that plate discipline from Jarvis was very impressive to be on as often as he was, and especially, the left-hander to lay off the changeup like that big. 3 Jakes in the lineup, oftentimes all weekend, with Jake Stadler behind the plate. You mentioned Jake Parr. And to step into the DH role like that with Valdez out was big. No strikeouts from Jake Parr either. We've seen him do that at home at Alexander as a sophomore in 21, where he only had like 1 K at home.
Right.
So even though he's such a big dude and probably the biggest guy on the team, he's more of a contact hitter in some ways.
He is, but he's gotten a lot stronger this past year in the weight room. And he's worked. Ain't nobody worked any harder than Jake. And I mean, he's paid his dues. And that's why I'm so happy for him. Is he got an opportunity and went there and made the most of it, and he'll be in there as long as he keeps producing. And but he does a really good job with 2 strikes as well, Ben. He'll shorten up and use the whole field with 2 strikes. So he's really got off to a great start.
And we don't want to short sell Parr's triple off the batter's eye Friday.
The big man runs now.
One of the farthest balls hit.
He had 2 triples.
Yeah, and that one off the batter's eye, the people at Sugarland that watch games all year were like, man, nobody ever hits it up there. So that one was quite the fly, so let's not discount that one. Meanwhile, on the mound, Friday and Sunday were the highlights of the weekend on the mound. Cal Steven and Jonathan Blackwell team up to give you 10 innings of 1-run ball, and the efficiency those two had out there with throwing strikes was huge.
It was awesome, Ben, to see Cal go out there again, a guy that pitched out of the bullpen last year for us. And again, that's kind of how we want to develop those guys, and to be starting on Friday night to get. I think people didn't really respect what he did on Friday until we got to Sunday and saw how good Holy Cross was with their offense. So tough to strike out. To put those zeros up there like he did was pretty outstanding. And then, again, we're trying to get the series win, and we talk about it all the time. Mental toughness Sunday's there after playing 2 games and got beat the way we did on Saturday night to be able to rebound. But it all starts with pitching. Jonathan went out there and stuck a 0 up there the first few innings and gave us a chance to score. And then from then on, we played downhill.
You got some good relief appearances as well. You got a lot of guys in over the weekend. Cal Lambert, Aaron Suval, Kyle Iwinski all pitched really well, it seemed like, for you. Just how much did you like being able to get those guys in, but then the performances they gave you?
It was good. I mean, a lot of those guys are new, Kyle.
Yeah.
And getting their first experience, especially in the Pro Park, big old stadium like it was, against a really good opponent in Holy Cross. I mean, it was an opportunity for them to get out there and get their feet wet, get comfortable, and hopefully we can just continue to build off that each week. And be ready for a good NJIT team.
Yeah.
The return to Holly Springs, not far from your old neck of the woods when you were at Campbell. Went there last year and won 7 games. So I think, 3 or 4 of them in your last at bat or in walk-off fashion. So some good vibes from that park last year during that 15-0 start, and another opportunity to be the home team multiple times.
And Ben, that's the toughest thing. That's why we do what we do, and so thankful that our administration allows us to go and be the home team. And I can't say enough about Sugarland first before we jump on Holly Springs. Just the way they treated us and just the hospitality they gave us was just unbelievable. I don't think people really realize how open they are to us at such a great venue as they are. And Holly Springs is the same way. The mayor is as a Purdue grad, and to be able to walk in there and to see your logos and things on the walls and on the dugouts is pretty awesome. And those are things that they don't have to do, but they really go and do the extra things.
You guys, off to a 3-1 start. Won't start 15-0 like you did last year, but I think it, starting 3-1 this year shows you what you guys accomplished last year. Not that we want to look back too much, but it just shows you in baseball how difficult it is to win day in and day out because of all the variables involved. But I thought the way you guys came back on Sunday, and hopefully we'll be able to carry that into NGIT this weekend, was big.
It was huge. You never know how they're going to respond on Sunday. I mean, we hadn't played that much, been on our feet that long. And then getting kind of popped in the stomach there on Saturday night, I thought the guys just responded well. And I just can't say enough about just the character of this team. I told our team after the game on Sunday, I've been so impressed with just their selflessness, just being involved. I had to put a lineup up, and everybody don't play.
Yeah.
And to see those guys take those roles and be very good at it and just be supporting their teammates, I just thought that was one of the greatest highlights of the weekend, Kyle.
Great weekend. Hopefully we'll have another one. We'll see you here in a couple days.
All right. Thank you.
That's the Purdue head coach, Greg Goff. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back with Jake Parr. You're watching This Week in Purdue Baseball. Welcome back to This Week in Purdue Baseball. Kyle with Ben, along with senior first baseman and designated hitter Jake Parr. Jake, great weekend. You win 3 of 4 against Holy Cross. Not only that, you were a big part of all the action this weekend. You got an opportunity as the DH for the weekend and really came through. You have to be happy with how things went.
Yeah, for sure. We just going into the weekend, just planning on hunting our pitches and not missing the pitches when we get our pitches. So it was a successful weekend for sure.
I mean, the role that you have, you don't know until maybe you see that lineup card whether you're going to be in or out. Certainly, you got a lot of opportunities this weekend. Just how do you approach each day? You know, not knowing whether you're going to be a bat in the lineup or a bat coming off the bench, or sort of what your role will be.
Yeah, for sure. Just trying to stay even. That's our big motto this year. So just trying to stay even, be a good teammate if I'm in the lineup, if I'm not in the lineup. So just like being an even kill.
Yeah,
is the key.
We've seen you have your moments when the at-bats are there. Second half of the 21 season, when you were playing regularly, the production was there. Early last season, specifically on the North Carolina trip, when the bats were there, you were hitting the ball and driving in runs and stuff like that. So just like you mentioned, when you see your name on the card, we know you're going to have it happen. So staying ready like that. Is the DH role then something that I'm willing to take on?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, just whatever the team needs is what I'm here for. So.
What did it take to get back to where you are now, producing? You had an injury that slowed you middle of last season.
Yeah, that was my AC joint in my right shoulder. I did that third, fourth weekend. I can't remember exactly, but just getting back and getting stronger, getting in the weight room with Ty Webb, it's been tremendous. The whole team's stronger, I feel like. So just getting back to that core strength that I had is key. Is
it fair to say this is kind of the best you felt as a Boilermaker?
Oh, yeah, for sure, yeah. We do a lot of squats, a lot of legs, as you could ask the team. So this is for sure the best I've felt, the strongest I've felt.
So no offense to you, but you are a 6'7" guy, maybe not the fastest runner on the team. You would have been maybe the least likely, or one of the least likely guys I would have predicted to have not only 1 but 2 triples over the weekend. But you did. I mean, you really hit the ball hard a couple of times. When's the last time you had a triple in a game?
Man, me and Mike were talking about that. I think it was high school last time I had a triple. But me and Mike were just talking. He hit a home run that last game, and on the way back to the airport, he was like, "Man, I can't believe that you hit 2 triples and I didn't hit a triple and I hit a home run." And we just thought it had been the roles reversed. So it was great. High school was probably the last time I hit a triple. So
maybe Greg Goff should move you up to leadoff.
I don't know. I'm not that fast.
Yeah.
Speaking of the size, you're probably the biggest guy on the team, and maybe you get mistaken for a basketball player once in a while over the course of your life. I know your dad played basketball, but with that in mind, the contact that you're able to generate and the 2-strike approach that you've shown, no strikeouts this past weekend. I think you only had 1 at home as a sophomore in 2021, so another streak there. Is that a big part of your game, being able to shorten up when you need to?
Yeah, for sure. I've really bought into Goff's approach, the 2-strike approach, getting your foot down early and letting the ball travel and getting the cookie when we get the cookie, the off speed. So I think the 2-strike approach has really helped me my 4 years of being here. So I think it's pretty good.
There was definitely one cookie, and you hit it a long, long way to center field. And even the people in Sugar Land was like, man, people don't hit it up there very often. Now, it did turn into a triple, as we said, not a home run, but still a big moment for you. To know, as the DH, okay, so between at bats, what kind of goes? What are you doing in those moments?
Yeah, CJ Valdez, he was All-American last year, DH. We talk when we're on defense, and I try not to think. I try to sit down and relax because you get anxious, especially if you go up there and you don't succeed or you fail in some type of way. So I just try to get input from him and some other players if need to be. So that's basically what I do, try to chill and be relaxed.
Primarily a first baseman, so this is somewhat of a new experience for you in that role?
You guys got a lot of production from sort of everywhere in the lineup. I mean, there's the guys that you typically expect, Cam Thompson, Paul Tates, those players. But, you go down farther in the order. You produced. Evan Albrecht obviously produced. Joe Stevens had a couple of big games. Just You talk a little bit about the depth. What do you guys
Yeah.
feel like you bring, and from a run production point of view, when some of your other guys are coming to the plate?
Yeah, that's a good thing. Like especially when the top of the order is not producing. I mean, we have the bottom order. I mean, we're stacked all the way through the lineup, and we were 2-3 guys deep in every position. So, I mean, you didn't mention Stadler. Stadler's came a long way. He's way more relaxed. That's what the guys were all talking about in the dugout. How just calm and he just looks real good in the box. Just not swinging at breaking balls in the dirt, and just he looks real good.
There will come a time when Valdez comes back, Thompson plays first base. I would imagine that part of your goal here is to make it really difficult on Greg Goff to take you out of the lineup. And, there's some flexibility there. Obviously, some guys can play in some different spots. But you obviously want to help the team win right now, but also part of that is to play so well that you can make it really difficult to get you out of the lineup, right?
Yeah, I'm just going to, just like I said at the beginning, just even kill if I'm playing. If I'm not playing, I'm here to make the team win, do whatever I can to help the team win. If that's me playing or me pinch hitting in the 8th inning, down 1 run and bases loaded, it's just going to stay even kill. So.
Yeah.
Time flies, especially for me and Kyle at our age in life. It just feels like yesterday that you got here, and now we look back, and besides the elder statesman, if you will, Evan Albrecht, you and Bolt are the second and third longest, tied for second longest tenured guys on the team. Been here since 2020. That first year here at Purdue turned out to be so unusual and unique with the shutdown, the way that it happened. Things have certainly normalized as an upperclassman, and you have to be kind of happy about that. I mean, about your time here at Purdue, what has it meant to you to stay on for the full 4 years as a true senior?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, all this portal stuff, and if you're not playing, you can transfer. I just wanted to keep my commitment. I committed here, and I wanted to be loyal to Purdue. So that's the biggest thing. And I just wanted to work it out and try to compete for a spot. So
to go through it as long as you have, I mean, and to see a lot of the faces change in the clubhouse, is that some you enjoy that part of it, to have a lot of different teammates and personalities that come through?
Yeah, I mean, as y'all know, I mean, we usually bring in half a new team, and when you get new teams, it's kind of hard to get together and be a team, and because you got guys coming, we have like 14 different guys from different states or something like that, so it's kind of difficult. But I think this year our team, been here 4 years, seen 4 different teams, and every year we've gotten 19, 20 new guys. So this year I think this road trip really proved to everyone that we're all close, and everyone is unselfish. Like Coach Goff was saying at our Sunday game, everyone is just unselfish, and I think we're going to be pretty good because we all come together.
Another road trip this weekend as you head down to North Carolina to take on NJIT. What do you guys have to do to keep it rolling?
Yeah, just stay even, work at our plan, and just big thing for Coach Marks, he's been emphasizing on all of us, is just to clear our mind and get our pitch, and when we get our pitch, don't miss our pitch. So, and that was a good thing we did this weekend, so I think that helped our success.
A couple times this weekend you didn't miss.
Yeah.
Especially the one off the batter's eye. Yep. You got all of that one.
You are a renowned outdoorsman, hunting and fishing. Do you have one area that you enjoy the most? I mean, was it your dad that got you into a lot of that stuff? And give us an idea of some of your favorite spots near your hometown in Alabama that you like to go.
Yeah. Just growing up, I mean, when I was in a diaper, there's a picture, it's kind of funny, but me and him, I was like 2 years old. We were out on the front deck of a boat, and just been fishing and hunting my whole life. He's gotten me into it, and I mean, we live on Lake Gunnersville, one of the best bass lakes in the country. So I'd say that's probably one of my favorite places to be when I'm not doing baseball. So
a couple years ago, we heard the stories about Ben Nissel and Skylar Hunter ice fishing around here. Have you tried that?
Yeah. So when they were there my freshman year, we went a couple times. So I really enjoy that too. So.
Well, not a lot of guys come north to south, or south to north, as the case would be for baseball, as you have done. So I'm glad that you have embraced some aspects of our different climate. But we'll be back below the Mason-Dixon line this weekend in North Carolina. All right, Jake, so we close things out, the player segment with what we call personal preferences. So we have you pick a number, and then we just want to learn more about you. There are no wrong answers, just some of the things that you enjoy. So between 1 and 32 this week, what do you got?
4.
4, your family member or the person who has had the biggest impact on your athletic career?
Probably my father.
Yep. And again, he played basketball in Kentucky, correct, in college?
Yep.
And was he a baseball guy as well?
He did. He played in high school, Yeah, but he would say he's not athletic enough to hit a baseball.
Very well, we had Matt Painter out at Alexander telling the team the same thing this past week, so we have heard that from multiple people now. You know what I forgot to ask during the segment? Your sister was part of the crew at Ole Miss, was she not?
Yeah.
And we are going there in a couple weeks.
Ole Miss Diamond Grove.
Yeah, so that is there going to be some family dynamics in play there?
Probably my sister and my brother-in-law, but not my parents.
Okay. But it was clear who they're going to be rooting for.
Yeah, they'll be rooting for me, or they'll be rooting for Purdue. Yeah,
Sure.
for sure.
Did you learn a little bit about the Ole Miss program from her, from what she saw up close?
Not too much.
Uh-huh.
She wasn't really around the coaches when they would practicing and stuff. Just around. She had her own boss. I think it was the assistant coach or something like that.
Okay.
But that she wasn't really around how they did everything until the game time. So.
Well, I don't know that I would have asked that. I remembered to ask that had this question not come up. So that's why we do personal preferences, I guess. So we got 2 more to go. Between 1 and 32, don't pick 4.
Probably 16.
16. All right, show, TV or online show or series that you can't stop watching, or maybe one that is really rewatchable.
Probably Yellowstone.
Yellowstone, very good. I could see how you would like that one. And Kyle is also a big fan of Yellowstone. All right, last one. Between 1 and 32, don't pick 4, don't pick 16.
Probably 21.
21. Favorite dessert?
Ooh, probably banana pudding.
We had some good banana pudding.
Yeah,
Was
we
it
did.
Thursday in
Yeah, we
Texas?
did.
That stuff hit the spot. So, all right, Jake, good picks there.
Awesome.
Hey, appreciate it, Jake. Best of luck this weekend, and 3-1's pretty good weekend. You guys will have to try to keep it going against NJIT.
Stay even.
There you go.
Yes, sir.
All right, that'll do it for the show for this week. We will be back again next week as we review and look ahead once again. All right, for Ben Turner, Jake Parr, the head coach, Greg Goff, and Kyle Charters, thanks for